Hi. If you have made the decision to move all the files into a real document management system like Sharepoint instead of Salesforce, you might still have files that enter the system, for instance, via emails, via clients still uploading them, users still uploading them, and you want to automatically move these files into the right location in Sharepoint. So we have an add-on, so you just have to contact our support department to receive this add-on, and then after you install this add-on, you can configure it and then move files from Salesforce files into SharePoint. Now, when you install the add-on, you will see that there is a trigger called Move Content to SharePoint, and it works on the content document link. So every time something is entered or adds into the content document link, we're going to pick it up and run some logic. You will see that the status of the trigger is active. Obviously, then you know it's going to be working. Next to that, you also have a custom setting, and that's an important one because you're going to have to edit that custom setting, and in that custom setting you're going to have to enable the auto move. So if you uncheck this, then it's disabled, it's not going to do anything. Now I'm going to enable it, and you also have to enter an API name of a flow that will actually provide information to the trigger to know where the files will have to be. Next to that, you're also going to provide the list of S objects that are going to be triggered, targeted for these files to be picked up. So for instance, you say, okay, in this case, I just want to have the contract object, the account object, the opportunity object, and the case. So as you can see, this is a comma-separated list of objects, and if you have a custom object, then you obviously just provide the API name of your custom object in this comma-separated list. Now, this is the API name of the flow. Let's take a look at the flow. For each object, you might want to do something special. So every object might have a separate URL to go to. Maybe for some objects you have a separate SharePoint site or document library. So you can actually define what is the action to take. And here what I've done is created a decision. And that decision says, okay, this is the steps to take when I'm a contract, this is the steps to take when I'm an opportunity, and so on and so on. Obviously, you can put in here your own logic. The flow is just an example that I give here. Your flow can do the logic that you want to do. And then in this logic, I'm just going to do a check. Every time you create this flow, you get a couple of items from us. That means that you get the object name. So you have a variable called object name, and you can just say that object name is going to be available for input. So make sure it's spelled correctly. In the Academy, you can copy paste it. You will also have the record ID, obviously, because that's the record to where the files were uploaded. So you're going to have the record ID also available for input. You're going to have to create these variables yourself. Then there is a couple of other items, but I'll go into the details a little bit further. So in my logic, obviously I want to get my opportunity, so I can just use the record ID because that's going to be the record ID of my opportunity to get some fields, and then I'm going to set some variables. So these variables are actually output variables of the flow. So if you were going to look at, for instance, the site drive URL, you see that it's available for output. Very important to check this one. If it's not checked, then it will not provide the information to the trigger, and we don't know where to store the files. Next to that, there's also path. So the path is also there. So that's going to be the folder where to store it in. And then there's also going to be a couple of other settings, like, for instance, a variable saying of type Boolean saying, do you want to delete the files? Set this to true or to false. If you want to delete the files, set it to true. If you don't want to delete the files, set it to false, and then the files will remain in Salesforce. And also we have one called leave content URL. So we're going to demonstrate that. That means actually leave a URL to the file. So it's going to be easily, you can easily open the file from Salesforce directly instead of going into the collaboration Butler component or SharePoint. All of these items have to be available for output. Make sure to set them correctly. And you see here that I set the site drive URL, the path, the delete files, and the leave content URL. So yes, I want to delete the files. Yes, I want to leave a content URL. The path is a formula, and also the site drive is a formula. Obviously, this is custom out-of-the-box flow stuff, so you can just build that according to your own custom logic. If I go to the site drive, I have a hard-coded part and I have a part concatenated to it. That's dependent on my record information. So on my opportunity, I have these fields here. You can see those are formula fields on the opportunity, and they just make sure that everything ends up in the correct site drive and libraries folders. Cool. So that's actually all that I have done. I'm gonna now make an example, do a demo here where I'm gonna pick up a couple of files, put them in the on the opportunity files here, upload them here, and then we're gonna see what happens. So I have a few files here, and we're just gonna drag and drop them, 3 files as you can see, and drag them, drop them here, and they are now being uploaded into Salesforce. Okay, so they are first uploaded into Salesforce. Now the trigger will pick them up and then move them, run the flow, and then move them directly to where they need to be moved. It went so fast that it's already done. And because I said that I want to leave a content URL, you see that there is a URL, a link here, and this link is pretty cool because if I click it, it will actually take me directly to the document that I have uploaded. And if it's a Word document, it's actually gonna make sure that I can edit the Word document directly inside the browser. So this is now all done. Now let's take a look. In Sharepoint, if I refresh this part, this is now where all the files were uploaded. So the 3 files that I have uploaded, they are right here. Cool. What does now happen when I put this to false? So I'm gonna put this to false, save my flow. So that means I'm not gonna leave a content URL. Activate. Okay, now there are 3 content URLs here. Let's say that now I'm gonna upload to other files to this. Okay, drop the files, upload them. Done. Now you see the files here, but if I refresh again, they will be picked up and moved. And what will remain is just the 3 links from the first try. So now we don't create any links anymore, and the files are just automatically moved into SharePoint. Okay, that's it. So that's how you can configure the setup for moving files from Salesforce into SharePoint directly in the correct site, library, and folder.